In this part, we'll be discussing about some problems which have been picked up from past year papers. These problems will effectively use the major concepts that have been discussed throughout this chapter. These problems are going to tell you how exactly you need to apply. These are very simple problems provided you understand the nuances of the application of the different concepts that we have learned. So we now move on to the next part, which will tell us about how to solve the questions that have appeared in the past year papers. So that is what we are going to discuss in this segment. The first question that we have says, when voltage measuring device is connected to AC mains, the meter shows a steady input of 220 volts. So when we are saying that it is showing a steady input, steady means it is a constant input. So that means the input that it is showing is actually equals to VRMS. So that's the reason. So VRMS is equals to 220 volts. Now VRMS is equals to how much? We know that VRMS is going to be nothing but V0 by root 2. So if I am just saying that this is what we have, so V0 is somewhere here. So as a result, the steady input state is going to be somewhere here. So this is going to be somewhat around 0.707 of V0. Okay, so this is a steady or a constant value of voltage that has been shown. So let's now look into the observations that are there. Input voltage cannot be AC voltage, but at AC voltage this is anyways ruled out. You can have an AC voltage. Maximum input voltage is 220 volt. That is wrong, because maximum input voltage is going to be equals to 220 into root 2. So this is ruled out. The meter reads not V but and is calibrated to read the V square RMS. So this is the correct one. The option D can also be correct. The option D can also be correct, saying that the meter is stuck with some mechanical defect, but we are not considering those kinds of defects out here, right? Okay. Moving on to the next case, says to reduce the resonant frequency in an LCR circuit with a generator. So let's try to understand what is the value of the LCR or the value of the resonant frequency. How do you get resonant frequency? We know that the impedance of the circuit is defined as equals to R square plus XL minus XC whole square. Now for finding the resonance, we say you need to have a minimum amount of Z. That is possible if you have XL that's equals to XC. So if XL is equals to XC, that means what? Omega L or omega naught L is equals to 1 by omega naught C, right? So this gives me what? Omega naught square, which is equals to 1 by LC. So if omega naught square is equals to 1 by LC, so that gives me the angular frequency as 1 over root LC. So now when I am saying that this is what we get, so this frequency is independent of the source frequency. It only depends upon the inductance and the capacitance. So let's go by one of the options. The first option, the generator frequency should be reduced. Obviously it has no effect on the resonant frequency. First one is ruled out. Another capacitor should be added in parallel to the first. So when we add capacitance in parallel, the net capacitance or net capacitor reactance or the net capacitance increases. As a result, adding capacitance is a viable option, or we could also add a inductance in series. Adding inductance in series plays the same role like adding resistance in series, right? So B is the correct option. Let's look at the other ones. The iron core of the inductor should be removed. If you remove the iron core, in that case, we know that for the potential difference, potential across a inductor is defined as L di by dt. L depends upon the coefficient of mutual inductance as well. L basically is the coefficient of self-induction, and it depends on the permeability of the medium, right? So if it depends on the permeability of the medium, if you are removing the iron core, so effectively the permeability is decreasing. So if the permeability is decreasing, you are decreasing the value of L, right? So if you are decreasing the value of L, that also basically that increases the value of omega naught. Okay, so that is not what we want. We want to reduce it. Dielectric in the capacitor should be removed. So when we talk about the capacitance, so capacitance is defined as epsilon naught A divided by D. I'm talking about a parallel plate capacitor. So if I put a dielectric, so this becomes this. So now if I remove K, that is if I remove the dielectric constant, in that case obviously the value of C is going to decrease. So if C decreases, omega naught is actually going to increase. So that is not what we want. So that's the reason option C and option D are ruled out. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Which of the following combinations should be selected for better tuning of an LCR circuit? So for a better tuning, you should be very close to the resonance. So for being close to resonance, there are two conditions that you need to take care of. First, the resistance in the circuit should be as low as possible. Second, the value of omega naught that you get, so omega naught is equals to 1 over root LC. So this omega naught should be as close to the value of operating voltages, right? So that is, when we say omega naught can be used to find out the frequency. So frequency becomes 2 pi root LC. So this frequency should be close to between 50 to 60 Hertz, right? So when I say that this frequency is close to between 50 to 60 Hertz, as a result, that circuit is more close to the resonance. The other conditions, both the conditions, if I take that into account, the option C is the outlier that we can clearly see that the resistance is minimum and the value of combination of inductance and capacitance will come out to be close to this value of omega naught. Okay, going to the next one, you have a inductor of reactance 1 ohms and resistor of 2 ohms are connected in series. So as a result, what will we get? We'll get the power connect. Okay, so you have Vrms given as 6 volts. Vrms is equals to V0 divided by root 2. So as a result, V0 comes out to be equals to 6 into root 2, right? What is the impedance? The impedance of the circuit is going to be 1 square plus 2 square. That's going to be equals to square root of 5. So what is going to be the power dissipated? The power dissipated is going to be equals to V square divided by R. That is going to be V0 square divided by Z. That becomes 36 times 2 is 72, 72 divided by root 5. So if I just try solving for this, so this gives me an answer which is equals to 14.4 volts. Okay. Further, going to the last question, it says the output of a step-down transformer is measured to be 24 volts when connected to a 12 watt light bulb. Okay, so the output is measured to be 24 volts. So as a result, so if I say Vrms is equals to 24, power is equals to 12 watt. Power is equals to how much? This is going to be given by, if I just say the RMS value or average power. So average power is going to be Vrms into Irms, right? So Vrms into Irms, that is, we are taking phi to be 0 because it's just a resistance that we have. So as a result, Irms is going to be equals to 12 divided by 24, which comes out to be 0.5. Now when this is 0.5, so as a result, but you are going to get the peak value is going to be Irms into root 2, so that becomes 0.5 into root 2. Or if I just say 0.5 into 2 divided by square root 2, so 0.5 into 2 is 1, so this becomes 1 over square root 2. The option is the option A. So hopefully whatever we discussed was clear. Any doubts, you may just get back to us. Thank you. Hopefully you would have enjoyed listening to whatever we have discussed in the module. Now, if you still feel that there are any particular doubts that you have, so please visit our site www.askIITians.com. In this, go to the discussion board. Here, you can find all the topics relevant to your questions. You can post your doubts in these relevant topics. And how exactly you are going to do it? Go to the right hand side corner of your screen. As you can see, you can select the category. The categories are defined here. You can select your category, type down your question. You can use your mathematical symbols as well. Else, if you have the question in the form of an image, you can attach the image, post it. We can assure you that the questions would be moderated and answered between 24 to 48 hours after you post it. So keep posting and happy posting. Thank you. So here in this part we understood about the different applications of the resonance concept. We have understood about the application of the impedance, how exactly the RMS value of the power is related for the different elements of the circuit, what exactly are the different types of things that actually go into the application and the production of current in an alternating circuit is we discussed in this particular last part. Now to summarize as to what all did we understood in the whole chapter, we started off with an application or basically a production of alternating current using a loop in a magnetic field. That loop basically gave us an insight about the induced EMF that is produced. We got to know that the induced EMF varies with some angular frequency. After that, what we did, we applied that particular value of voltage that we got, induced EMF, across the different components, that is resistance, capacitance and inductance. We got to see something like a phasor diagram. The phasor diagram told us how exactly is the net impedance of the circuit varying, what is the phasor angle that is produced because of the different values of capacitance, inductance and the resistance. Going further from the phasor diagram, we got into a circuit which is known as the LCR circuit. From the LCR circuit, we got to know about something known as the resonance. So resonance is a very, very strong concept that has a very, very important practical application as far as your board examination as well as your competitive examinations are concerned. Going further, we also understood about something known as the Hertz experiment of a LC circuit. LC circuit is a self-sustaining oscillator wherein you start off with a capacitor with being fully charged, then the capacitor starts getting discharged as soon as you connect it into a circuit. So this is a self-sustaining oscillator. That was the first oscillator that was utilized, and then there were many more. So hopefully in whatever we discussed, obviously would have given you a very, very good insight into what is alternating current. If you still would like to discuss further, please ask us questions on the discussion forum. Thank you.